Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders seeing what's current. Jeezy? No. Gucci and T.I have squashed their beef, apparently. But 8 months ago, they were on the same stage together. Maybe not together exactly, but they were on the same platform. They were on the same streets, uh, Legends of the Streets tour. They were in that capacity in February. So they might not have technically squashed their beef, but they were in proximity to one another. They were close. Maybe not performing together. Maybe not, showing any kind of quote unquote love, as most of these people like to say. They definitely had some kind of understanding to at least be on the same tour together. You have to have some kind of agreement to have artists on the same tour as you. So I think that was established 8 months ago, but this is explicit. That was implicit. He T.I walked across the stage and Guwop, Gucci Mane, Mr. Burr himself, he opened his hand up and shook it with T.I, and they had some respectful words again for each other. They had love and respect, and I think it's a good sign for hip hop. I think it's a good sign for all music, really. If you can, be rational men and have a discussion, have an understanding of one another, that's probably a good sign. Um, One of the best things to ever come out of the womb of hip hop is Southern rap. Is hip hop in Atlanta and the surrounding areas, Mississippi, Louisiana, Florida, and different areas like that, North Carolina, South Carolina, all these different artists from these different areas. The Southwest, Texas, of course, Houston, that's all phenomenal. Um, T.I had beef, with multiple people. He had beef with uh, one of my favorite rappers, Lil Flip, but they squashed it eventually a few years ago. So this current, burying the hatchet, as they say, as the cliche goes, really reflects upon both of men's character, and it's okay. I think it's okay to have beef. I wouldn't stop anyone from having a controlled battle or beef or tension if it is controlled, if it's not out of hand and crazy, and we're talking about getting guns and lighting up people's houses or anything like that. If it stays on wax, and I say that metaphorically, of course, unless you still use vinyl. If it stays on wax, if it stays in cassette players and CDs. I don't know what else to say. I mean, of course, it's streaming services, but they're presenting themselves to be gentlemen, and they know the fact that their beef can still fuel the record sales and streams and stuff like that. So sometimes hip hop has really good beef and battles. Jay-Z and Nas is of course a touchstone for beefs and battles, and how that almost got out of hand with Jay-Z's talking about skeeting on the baby seat and stuff like that. It just gets to a point where you have to be very cautious. Like, you can't be saying that kind of stuff. You can't talk that way. And then Jay-Z responded back, my mama can't save you this time. It's over. I'm paraphrasing, but this is it's a good sign. This is, like I said, it's a good sign for hip hop. Guwop is probably calculating that this is a good time to do this, even though, like I said, they were on 8 months ago. They were on the streets, the Legend of the Streets tour, on the same car, but not on the same stage. Let's make that distinction clear and evident. So you have T.I, going up to on the stage with Guwop, and this is during Guwop's day. This is 10/17. This was yesterday. October 17th. That's his label, 1017 Global Music, formerly 1017 Brick Squad, 1017 Eskimo, 1017 So Icy. He had a few name changes over the years, but it still remains the same. He's one of the most vital, most prolific artists to ever come out of hip hop. Gucci Mane. T.I is decent. He has number one albums. He's got number one singles. He definitely made his mark. He still is claiming that he invented the trap music um, genre or subgenre of hip hop. He's saying that it was actually he has a date. He has a date of let me see where it is. August 19th, 2003. The birth of rap. This is a quote. Okay, so again, for the slow ones in the back, August 19th, 2003, birth of trap music, and only was dispute facts, and a lot of exclamation points and end quote. He wrote on Instagram. And there's another quote. FOH, you all know what that means. But that Christopher Columbus asked, look what I discovered, even though there was already here ass shit. With your good cap and ass. So that was in the past, you know. And we all know about Christopher Columbus. Let's make that clear. He, of course, did not discover America. He opened up the trade routes. And he didn't even set foot in America. He set foot in the Caribbean. But that's neither here nor there, as that cliche goes. The two men of hip hop, genre we'll get to later on my other half of this show, have displayed the fact that they can, get this money. That's the whole point, is to get in the bag. You know, you have to put in good work. You have to do creative things. You have to, maneuver and spot ways of creating a better route for yourself. But the whole point is to get the bag. And if you got, some semblance of self-esteem and an ego, I mean, I always say hip hop is Eminem: mysticism, narcissism, and mercantilism. And I've broken that down before. I'm not going to break it down here, but I'll break it down maybe later. But it's all about getting the bag. It's all about being fly, fresh, and jiggy. It's all about me being the first one, me being the best. If you're not the best, you can be the first, like Soldier Boy. I'm the first to have a video game. I'm the first to have sneakers on my forehead. It's like he can say anything. And we just eat it up. We just take it as almost fact, as almost his word. So we have Guwop and T.I squashing their beef, letting it be known to the world, making it explicit. It was implicit 8 months ago. It was implied that maybe they're on the same. I mean, because if you really have beef with somebody, I mean, serious street beef, you're not going to be on the same card as somebody. They were on the same card. They're on the same lineup. They're on the exact same tour lineup. So you would not have had these two men together and today and yesterday, and which was declared Gucci Mane Day. And he has by the Atlanta City Council. They even said, that it was Gucci Mane Day. But he also has an album coming out, and this is not surprising. He has an album every 1 to 2 years. It's called Breath of Fresh Air, and he's got people featured on it like Lil Baby, Lil Rye, Key Glock, J. Cole, Mike Will made it, The Baby and 21 Savage, Roddy Ricch, and even 2 songs featuring the late great Young Dolph. So you might want to check that out. I'm sure it has some bangers. I didn't have a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm glad that Gucci patched things up with Jeezy back in 2020 when they had their verses. Even though Gucci Mane was doing some slick dissing, he was doing some underhanded, little side comments here and there. He still had his barbs, set in, but he still made it work. That's what makes it possible, because That's what it is. We have to get this bag, no matter where we are. Who it is. And of course, you like I repeat myself. So you can of course get a bag with beef, but isn't it stronger to form an alliance with somebody and be able to say that this is an affiliate or is a friendship, and we can get into the studio together. We can work on stuff. Height is in the building. Salute to Height. Burr, Burr, he says. Respect the goal. $0 raised. $80 to go. I appreciate you, Height. You're one of my sponsors. You're not one of them allegedly broke bum niggas that try to act all tough on here, but they haven't given a dime. So I appreciate you, sir. I'll check my PayPal, see what happens. But I'm not forcing you to do anything. You of course do it on your own accord. Um, but yeah, Ti is. Let me see. There's always a question about relevancy and being a factor. I would say both men are relevant. They're in the news. Their factor, I think Gucci's factor is always going to be in place. Ti's factor kind of wanes. It waxes and wanes. It grows and it lessens. But Gucci Man stays consistent, even from jail. I mean, they both have been to jail before. But I think Gucci just has so much more material. He has Christmas albums. He has compilations and different stuff like that. He just has a whole different way of looking at the genre. I almost said the culture, but it's really a genre. Um, and I have to respect that. I have to definitely give him his credit for that. He definitely knows what he's doing. He knows how to do it. He has a sensibility about him that is so very you know um money making. That's the only thing that comes to my mind. It makes money. He knows how to get that bag, and he's not like a top tier, multi-millionaire. Super multi. He's not. He probably doesn't have at least $200 million, or definitely doesn't have $1 billion. But he's a multimillionaire. He's got probably $50 million or a little bit less than that. Maybe I don't know. Can't really tell because you go on these sites and they'll give you anything. He'll be worth $10 million to $40 million, and you really can't tell. Even on Forbes, I don't think he made the Forbes list because they really don't feature a whole lot of hip hop artists as much as they used to. As from what I understand, they're not really pushing that much. They could still be. I can look it up right now. Let me see Forbes. Forbes. Looking it up right now. This article is more than 7 years old. Former Cash King back for the crown. This is like going way back. This is what I'm talking about. They really don't list a whole lot of hip hop acts as much as they used to. They're just looking for people to recognize their brand and the songs. So it's all about having respect and understanding. It's all about having that way of not going to pistols or the AR-15s or anything like that. We don't want to see people laid out. We want to see people prosper. We want to see people thrive. When people see flourish and get that cake, get that money, get that bag. That's what this game is all about. Young men of color finally having a backbone. I know I call it narcissism, but that's as close as you can get. They should be arrogant and they should be egoistic. Right now they're egotistic, and that's a fine line as well. So it makes sense, dollars and cents, and common sense, to, you know, quash all kinds of tension and or beef, because that is key to being an artist. That's key to being a businessman. You know, it doesn't always translate into dollars or, you know, recognition if you're at war with somebody. If you're constantly feuding with someone, and you're not going to be able to foresee getting a whole bag or getting enough, you know, stats, or, you know, getting enough money to support your family and to completely do well in the world. So I would say that this is a monumental. This isn't a classic beef squashing. This is a monumental squashing of beef. This is a great example of how two men can come together in one accord and be within the bounds of rationality, and show that they're more than just, you know, niggers hanging on the street, you know, with a Glock in one hand and a 40 in the other, and smoking on weed and just being ridiculous. No, they can be businessmen. They can greet each other with admiration and regard and honor, and let it be that. And the crowd loved it. I saw the video of it. Guwop is talking to T.I. T.I. talks back to him, and the crowd just goes wild. They're like, ah, because they know that, you know, in the South, and especially Atlanta, and Decatur and the surrounding areas, have some of the most talented people on the planet. I mean, I don't really mess with Future, but I respect his grind and I respect his artistry. It's just not for me. I mean, he just talks mostly about using drugs and not really selling drugs. I'm into selling drugs, but he's talking about dirty Sprite and all that stuff like that. I'm like, all right, I'm good. But I mean, you can go down the list: Outkast, Future, Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri, and you just keep going down the list, on and on and on and on. You know, so many other people. It just makes you consider how big and how powerful Atlanta came to be. Even since Andre 3000 said at the Source Awards, the South got something to say, or we got something to say, something like that. I'm paraphrasing now, but he had that sentiment all, you know, about him. And what happened? The South just flourished within 10 years of that. He said that, I think, in the mid 90s or the late 90s. And after that, it was a floodgate of talent. T.I, everybody, Gucci. This is part of the reason probably why they squashed their beef, because they're like, hey, we're from the South, we're fighting the same war. It's like a civil war almost. It's like, why are we fighting each other when we could be fighting to get this money? Let's get this guap. Your name is Guwop. Let's get this guap. That's what it means. That's what it should mean. That's what it all takes. That's what it takes to be, you know, a gentleman on the mic. Someone who knows what they're saying and why they're saying it, and who they're saying it to. Because that's hip hop is global, and it's funny how I'm listening to these lyrics, and it all got nigga, 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 and we're surprised. Oh my, he said nigger. He's a white boy. Why are we surprised? White girl saying nigger. Why are we surprised? What do they listen to? Hip hop. Hip hop is all about saying nigger, as it should. I love the word nigger. I might change my mind later on in life, but right now, I love saying nigger. Nigger, 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 nigger. The late great Paul Mooney once said, I say nigger every morning and help me keep my teeth white. Nigger, 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 nigger. And then we're surprised when somebody says nigger and they're not of the FBA or black culture or something like that. ADOS, we get surprised all of a sudden. How is that even possible? We allow that to come into their headphones and their AirPods and their Beats. Gucci and T.I used the word nigger. But no, it's not nigger, it's nigga. Like I said before, they great Paul Mooney. You can fry a goat, you can fricassee a goat, you can bake a goat, you can boil a goat. It's still a goat. No matter what you put hot sauce on it, it's still a goat. That's facts. So, and that's just a tangent, about the state of hip hop and what it means. Um, so I think it behooves us to understand better the fact that these two men have been able to say, you know what, we might have had our tension in the back in the past few years. We might have had beef, and we might not looked each other in the eye completely. But hey, there's too much money out here, and I think we probably made money off of our beef, but we can make a hell of a lot more if we're together. If we form an alliance, we form a fidelity, a stronghold. Uh, if we form some kind of understanding of each other and get to the bag, get to the money and creativity. That's the sad part. You have the late great Biggie and Tupac. I've already discussed that about how allegedly, my theory is they arranged their own deaths. But they were creative beings, two of the greatest creative beings in hip hop. Tupac was probably one of the most, you know, mind bending, most courageous, and very thoughtful people on the mic. And Biggie just had great rhymes put together. He didn't really have the full extent of, world politics and what's going on in the streets in terms of women and how they're treated. But he had superior bars. He had superior way of conveying a message, and he had he exhibited confidence and everything like that. And I'm just glad that we won't most likely have to worry about some kind of Gucci Mane T.I situation going down like Biggie and Tupac. Because for a minute there, they had their beef, they had their problems, and it was very much of an issue. But they knew better. They knew better. They said, you know what, we're not going to go down that route. We're not going to go there. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, you can technically say it was New York against New York instead of East Coast, West Coast, because Tupac was born in New York, and Gucci Mane and T.I were both born in Atlanta and in that surrounding area. Looking up right now. He was born in Bessemer, Alabama, Gucci Mane. So, but I think he was raised in Atlanta. He went to East Atlanta. That's what he has that even in his songs. A lot of times, Gucci Mane. And they both speak on that. Salute to you, Zer, Rick James says. And salute to hip hop. It may be on a respirator, but ain't in a coma. Very good observation. We'll get to that in just a few moments, sir. We'll get to that in just a few moments. We'll get to that in just a few. So it is incumbent upon me to say that we have a monumental squashing of beef with Gucci Mane and T.I. T.I is, often, he's usually mocked, but he's not that dumb. He's pretty smart, but he's usually mocked. He might be dumb smart. I don't know, but he's usually mocked by saying like we have to move expeditiously up the into a way of understanding the situation properly, partner, like that. That's like a meme. He uses these big words and he uses all this like vocabulary, and it just sounds funny. I'll make fun of him for that. Okay, look, here's Rick James. I shared the stream with my uncle's new girlfriend, sir. She a hip hop head. I told her the show is right up her alley. Well, I appreciate that. I got 4 people in the room. I hope at least one of them has their pocket their books out and their their Cash App ready and their PayPal ready. I'm about to get into hip hop and the state of what it is right now in just a few moments. I appreciate that, Rick James. Keep telling people. Keep telling 5 people, but don't tell the 6th person. Keep doing that. Now I'm back down to 2 people. All right, that's fine. 3 people. I know. I already know. It's because got the checkbook ready exactly. But I already know that like we discussed before on the show. People come in and out. I think Jake Tone said it best. I'm paraphrasing him, but he was saying how, with people, somebody with a meager amount of viewers as I have. I don't have tens of thousands of viewers or even thousands of viewers or even hundreds of viewers or even tens of viewers, really, dozens of viewers. It's really about how many people come in and come out. I'm back to 1. I guess that's Rick James. Hike came in with the burr. Didn't leave me no money, but he has paid in the past, so I have to give him that much respect. So I mean, the trap music era, that whole genre, is something to marvel at, really, because it changed the landscape of not only hip hop but pop music. I mean, I'm looking on the Peloton bike, and they got trap music workouts. That's how big this thing is. That's how the extent to which hip hop has grown. How much it has evolved. You have different acts like Jeezy, T.I, Gucci, also crack cocaine, at least at some point in their life. All had legal issues. And they all had beef with one or the other. I don't think Jeezy and T.I had beef, but T.I had beef with Gucci, and Jeezy had beef with Gucci. But it's all squashed. Everything that they had, all of that is over with. There's no more left. There's no more power struggles or anything like that. So that's something to definitely consider. When you have people that are rich and famous, icons, legends in the game, T.I, Gucci Mane, put in the work. Gucci Mane is a very interesting character, I think, because he has, super big songs like Wasted and Lemon, and then like really gritty trap music that goes on his albums. And then the Christmas themed songs and Christmas themed albums. I mean, that's just tremendous. He has a tremendous breadth of talent to do that. So I'm glad that T.I and Gucci Mane, Guwop, were able to say, hey, let's get this money, man. It's too much out there. We got to, form an alliance. We got to be friends. And we can at least see each other eye to eye with respect. That's it for that. So now, the other half of the show. Is hip hop still on a respirator? It is not dead. hip hop is definitely not dead, but it is on. I'm asking the question: is it still on a respirator? Because last time I checked, it was on a respirator. I mean, we have to have different things like T.I and Gucci to breathe life into the game with the machine of the respirator. Okay, now Rick James is saying his theory. He's saying, man, T.I is one of the best to ever do it, man. Yes, T.I is one of the best to ever do it. It's very factual. He also says, good thing they didn't kill each other like Tupac and Biggie did to Easy E. That's your opinion. That does not reflect the ideas and views of Scholar Saunders or any of his affiliates. Just to let you guys know. Okay. So hip hop, 50 years plus now. At least 50 years. People say it can go back to the 30s and 40s with, boogie woogie and things like that, and bebop. Say it's probably 70 or 80 years old. But the foundation, there's 9. I'm not going to name all 9, but there's 9 elements of hip hop. Maybe I might name all 9. Hold on 1 second. I think I can do it. Hold on. I have a list here. I can street. Okay, I'm gonna do 9. All right, we have the street designer. That's somebody like Dapper Dan, somebody like that. You have the street thinker. That's somebody like KRS-One, the philosopher. You had the B girl. That's somebody like I guess even Rosie Perez in a sense. She was probably like that dance girl, or Jennifer Lopez, very Latina oriented for the break dancing. But the word maker, that's somebody like Gucci. He makes up his own words and has his own word list. Guwop and all that, and Burr and everything like that. You have the beatbox. That's somebody like Dougie Fresh. You know, he had the beatbox. He said in an interview, it's like playing the trumpet. He was playing the trumpet before, and this goes back to another whole host of ideas about hip hop. Prior to hip hop, there was shortages and cut off programs in schools for after school for different arts programs, things like that. So the kids were left to play in the streets, and they're just by themselves. And he didn't know how to figure out how to use a trumpet anymore. He just went and like that. He had the beatboxing down. But that was basically it. Um, You got the street entrepreneur. Who's not a street entrepreneur? You got Jay-Z, you got Ye, you got T.I. There's too many to name. Gucci, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne. I can just name a whole Lil Flip. A lot of people are street entrepreneurs. All right, so you got the MC, anybody and everybody. That's big. You know what an MC is already. And the street artist. That's like somebody like Jean-Michel Basquiat. He was a matador. He was definitely a leader in our scene in hip hop. So those are the 9 major categories of what hip hop stands for. And we of course see mainly the MC rappers. I'm going to repeat what Rick James says. Lil Wayne is one of the main reasons why hip hop is so on the respirator. He single-handedly killed the genre. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. Lil Wayne is one of the best to ever come out of the womb of hip hop. He was one of the most one of the brightest, most consistent artists ever. He has some of the best flows. He has some of the best ideas. If you just listen to something like the Carter 2, you'll be mesmerized at his verbal abilities. But I thank you, Rick James. You're my number one viewer. I think so much. So I'm at least talking to somebody in the live. At least somebody can hear me and what I'm saying and can respond. I appreciate that. So we have the 9 basic elements of hip hop, and you have hip hop still, on the bed, on a respirator, awake, cognizant, conscious, but still on a respirator. It's not dead yet, but it's dying. And what's killing it is itself. It's taking small cuts into itself, like under the bed sheets. What's really popping right now is Latinx, Latino, Hispanic music, and K-pop. They are really popping right now. They are the ones that are on the vanguard for global domination, I guess you can say, because hip hop had domination in the mid 2000s and 2010s and kind of waned, and it got sparked again, with somebody like Lil Baby, who had the most sales in the United States during the pandemic in 2020. And I was just about to say Afrobeats. Afrobeats they took from American blues and jazz and R&B, but they also made it themselves. I salute to you, Height. Respect. It is exploding. I do agree. And while I am on the subject of various musical genres, I have to give a advertisement to Spirit Smooth Tunes. If you like uh, quiet storm, smooth jazz, R&B, things of that nature, head on over to his channel. Tell him I sent you. It's Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube. You'll enjoy it. You'll listen to it. You'll share it. Make sure you let him know. Thank you very much. All right, back to the show. Yeah, exactly. So we had put some respect on the man's name. You put Snood instead of Smooth, Rick James. I see you out there. But yeah, so it's on the respirator. Is it still on the respirator? Is the question. Is it about to go into another stage of existence? Can it still be alive? I'm not saying it's on a respirator and it's about to die. I'm saying it's on a respirator and it could go out of its condition right now, which is being on a respirator. Like with 2006. Let me see. Let me make sure it was. Yeah, hip hop is dead. Nas kind of predicted what people would say about hip hop in just the coming year. A year later, 2007, year bing bong bong, bing bong, bing 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 bong, you. Yeah. And they said that Soldier Boy killed hip hop, which is completely non-factual, completely against reason. He's one of the saviors of hip hop. He injected youth back in the game. That's what this game needs. It needs the OGs to regulate and to understand, how to show the young people how to get this money and how to finesse deals and make greater creative projects. And you need the youngsters. You need these, young people. I'm not going to say the ages, but people in their teens and their late teens to be on the vanguard for being fresh and being new and starting something that's never been seen before. Nobody didn't see Soldier Boy come on unless they thought about Nas' album Hip Hop Is Dead, because he had the line like only thing they like me, I'm on white tee, that kind of hip hop, that kind of understanding, that way of looking at things. I mean, it's a great understanding to have when you see the huge influx of people that are creative and that are using their minds to get this money. That's a beautiful thing. So I'm saying, not respirator for like, oh my god, it's wrong respirator, it's in bad condition, it's gonna die. No, it's on a respirator and it just needs a little time to flourish and grow a little and to regain its strength, and it'll be back on its feet in just a few. That's what I'm saying. It's not dead though. Hip hop is not dead. Nas just said that because it's a catchy title, and it was what he was feeling at the time. But he knows he's dropped major albums. King's Disease. What do you have? 3 King Diseases, 2 Magics, and what? 2 years? Not 2 years, but I'm exaggerating. But it's a total misrepresentation of. I do disagree with Rick James. Rick James says Nas did that title because he's one of the reasons why it's dying. No, Nas is not one of the reasons why it's dying. One of the reasons why it's dying, or if it's on the respirator, or is teeter-tottering on getting back into life or dying, is because it has lessened the ties between the OGs, or the original gangsters, or the original thought makers, the people from the 80s and early 90s and stuff like that. They don't have the same understanding of each other. They look down. The old heads look down upon the young guys and girls, and the young guys and girls don't have any respect for the old heads because they're feeling like they're being mistreated. But at the same time, everybody's getting a bag, or everybody has a bag. Rakim has a mansion somewhere. Like he's eating good. He's eating off his publishing, I'm sure. I'm sure he may have some of his masters, if not all of them. That's a beautiful thing. Rick James says it took Jay Dilla to save it. I can agree with that for the most part. I mean, he was a brilliant producer. He was one of the finest to ever do it, no question. And he didn't have any, scandals or anything like that. He just had a sickness, and sadly, he perished. But if you want to have the idea of, people looking down on the genre and besmirching it and talking bad about it, that's just that's complete bullshit. Honest, it's nonsense. It doesn't make any sense because they're not really paying attention to the fact that people are feeding their families off of hip hop. They're growing, some people actually have whole communities that they have grown, not just neighborhoods, but communities, grocers, law offices, accounting offices. Yes, Jay Dilla died, Rick James. Yeah, you didn't know that? Look that up. That happened in 2005. I can look it up. Let's see, Jay Dilla. 2006. He died in February 10th, 2006. Well, you can cry all you want, man. I'm not gonna cry. I have respect for that man. No, 2006 isn't that recent. I mean, according to hip hop, hip hop is like on the point like that. So that's what was that 17 years ago? That's a whole person worth of time. That's a whole young adult worth of time, and especially in hip hop, where everything is speedy and the next thing is all that we can't. What's you using that word for? We don't use that word in 5 minutes. I don't know, like, in a minute. Why are you wearing those clothes? Those clothes are from last month. Those clothes are from 2 weeks ago. You're not wearing those. You can't wear those sneakers. Those sneakers was from a day ago. Well, feel this way, Rick James. He says, I don't know how I feel about him dying. Just know that he was a beautiful soul. He was a great producer, great businessman, and he definitely left an indelible mark on the net genre. Because once it's on its feet, maybe I'll call it a genre, but it's still on the respirator. So the question is it still on a respirator? Has it been able to make the decision to fully expound and explain its position in the world of genres? You know, that's where we're headed. we're headed towards a world where hip hop may be a complete subgenre and it may be taken over by, like I said, Afrobeat, Latino, Hispanic, those kind of things, and intertwined like Cardi B does, and I think Lil Wayne has a few songs on the Fix to the Six, and multiple other artists who use Hispanic and K-pop and stuff like that, because they know there's a bag in it. Obviously, you can get money from it, but not only the money, it's the creativity. That's how you get the money. You have to be creative. You have to be in a position where you know what you're saying and how to say it and what to do. So hip hop is definitely on a respirator, but I think it can get up. I think it can show signs of life. I think it already shows some signs of life, but it's not dead. Hip hop is not dead, and people say that hip hop is dead. It had to have had a resurrection, especially with females. Sexy Red, Lotto, City Girls, Megan Thee Stallion. I mean, Cardi B still in, Nicki Minaj is still in. Females have changed the landscape of the game. I'm missing names, but I'm just giving you a few to give you examples. And that's we don't do shout outs, Rick James. No shout outs. I'm glad that this post won't be your post won't be on the video for the rebroadcast, because we do not do shout outs. Let's stay with salutes. You did salutes in the past. Let's stay with the salute. But that's the legitimate part about hip hop. It allows it's a free for all. It's a free for all. Anybody can come through. You got Woe Vicky and Bad Baby. They're doing hip hop. They're not the best lyricists. They're not the best uh, creative forces in the game. But hey, they're eating off hip hop no matter what. And what was the other little white girl? Gucci, Gucci, Finny, Prada. And them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Creation. I might be going way back for some of you. Creation, thank you. Exactly. Creation. Yeah, I might be going a little far back. That's going to the pre 2010s and the 2010s. She had that song, Gucci, Finny, Louis, Prada. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I'm not gonna say anything else because I'll get a copyright strike. But it's like we can't kid ourselves. We can't kid ourselves and say that hip hop is only one color. It's only one coast. It's only one region. And I like what hip hop is doing right now. I love West Side Gun and the Griselda crew from Buffalo. I like what Moneybag Yo and Yo Gotti and Young Black Youngster, like all of that in Memphis. Detroit people are doing well. It's still about to get up. I think is it still on the respirator? Yes, I answered it. It's still on the respirator, but it has a chance to get up and walk out of that hospital room with all power in its hands. That's what I think. So if there's any confusion over, well, then there has to be something else. All right, so I have to do my own advertising. I have $0 raised of $80. I'm accepting tens and 20s. Respect the goal. That's my own little advertising that I had to put in. I don't know what you're talking about, Rick James, but all right, thanks. I appreciate it. But I have to give myself a little bit of an advertisement. I'm accepting $10 and $20. I'm trying to get to $80. It doesn't seem like it. There's not a lot of people popping in the viewership. I think I just have Height and Rick James. Height has definitely given to this machine. I respect his dollar. So thank you for that much. Thank you for your past donations. But I need the money for today. Not just, in the past. Past is past. What have you done for me lately? That's the question. All right. So I'll get back to hip hop. We're not open the floor for questions yet. Not just yet. That's Rick James asked me. But it's on the respirator. Yes, it is on the respirator. But it could get up and walk again. It could get up, take, rehab, get prescribed drugs, lean, of course, and Molly, Percocet, and Xannies and Addies. That's the kind of drugs that hip hop is on. So that's like I said. I was talking about that before with Future. I really didn't get him when he first. I was like, I don't know. Then I was like, oh, he's just talking about drugs. Okay, I get it. Not really my thing. I don't really do recreational drugs like that. So, but I'm not saying it for anyone else. I'm not a subjective hater. I'm not gonna be like, oh, don't buy his music, don't listen to his streams, don't do anything like that. No, listen, have fun, do what you can within limits. Don't kill yourself, as so many have done with lean and perkies and mollies, and it's just a big mess. But people want to escape from their lives. They have so many struggles. They have the rising costs of living and the spiraling of inflation, and we have major wars overseas that are happening, and a lot of things are going on. So people are like, man, I gotta get this promethazine. I gotta get this, put this ice in the cup, put some Jolly Ranchers in, mix it with the Sprite, and I'm good. I gotta get this Molly. I gotta pop this. I gotta make sure I feel right. I feel good. I can really, get a sense of who I am and what I'm about. But that's not me. I'm on prescribed drugs. I'm on olanzapine, trazodone, uh, clonazepam, lithium. Those are my drugs, and they keep me on even keel every day, and I appreciate that. So that's what could happen with hip hop. All it needs is maybe an injection of reason, individualism, and capitalism. Three tenets of objectivism that are, so crucial. They're just so crucial to the way that we have on our way of life and how we deal with things. That's what's so powerful. Hip hop just needs to continue to be smart and know how to find an audience and stay with that audience, and be loud and boisterous and arrogant and everything, egoistical, not egotistical, even though it is very narcissistic. It concerns itself too much without reason, without earning it. They just say it, and it seems like that's the word, and that's not really the facts. That's not truth. And so, with so many people coming in the game and running out of the game faster than they came in, it's a sad shame to understand how people get laid down. That may be a part of it. The martyrs, the people we've lost to gun violence, the young Dolphs and so many others. Just too many to name. I mean, I can't even. He just came to mind because I was talking about Gucci Mane, having him on his album. But there's so many others. I can't even. I'm trying to think more besides Biggie and Pac and anything like that. But what's it? Yeah, here's the New York rap, PNB Rock, and that New York rapper. What's his name? Pop Smoke, among a whole host of others. And people who have had overdoses and things of that nature, it's just what it is. But hip hop is on a respirator, but it has the chance to get off of it if it does the right thing. All right, now I'll open the floor for questions. Rick James, you want to ask questions? Height, if you're in the building. Who else is in the viewership? I have 3 people. If you want to ask questions without dollar amounts, feel free. I will entertain any and all questions from everyone. I will take your question. I will answer it. I have to keep running my mouth so there's not dead space. Okay. Rick James says, if you could marry one celebrity, who would it be and why? I wouldn't marry a female celebrity. I wouldn't marry her. I would marry a female, somebody that is not known. Somebody that's unknown. From this point right now, I will marry a young lady who is a businesswoman, but is not in the spotlight, not a celebrity, not, a celebutante or something like that. She would be an unknown. That's the only person I would marry right now. Maybe later if I get to a point where I can, brush up on a woman with credentials in the field. I would just say that much. FMK. What is FMK? For my knowledge, or something? Is that what that means? Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato. Yeah, I think they're all attractive, very much so. But I don't know if I would want to have a relationship with them on that level. Definitely not getting married. If you have any more questions, go ahead. We got about a few more minutes before this broadcast officially ends, but we can go even further beyond that and just have a shoot the shit section. I have no money raised. I've said that before. $0 raised is $80. Nobody has come through and dropped off enough money to keep me going on the subject. So I'm just opening up for questions now. Rick James is I guess typing away, trying to get his idea together. Oh, 60 time Mary Kill. Okay, in that order, he's saying Sexy Time, Mary Kill, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. He meant Lovato. He put Lovato. But I see 3 people in here. Who are the other 2? I know Rick James is here. Height originally was in here. I don't know if he wants to ask any questions. You definitely are welcome, more so than Rick James, to ask questions. Oh, okay. Mary, Taylor Swift, Sexy Time, with in that order. It looks like you have Selena Gomez and kill Demi Lovato, because Demi Lovato is not even about straight relationships. She's like gender fluid or something like that, or she has some kind of LGBTQ thing going on. So I not kill her because of that, but I mean I wouldn't deal with her. And these are all old heads. They're my age. I'm looking for. I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm looking for something in the 20s. I'm looking for a female in her 20s, more so than anything else. These are all 30-year-olds. She's non-binary. She's not. I don't have time for that. For me, do your thing. Be non-binary, but not. I'm not gonna do it. Okay. If Rick James asks, if you had to shake Paul Rubin's hand or Ted Bundy's, who would you choose and why? You had to choose one. I mean, come on, that's not even like a question, and that's all hypothetical. It would definitely be Paul Rubin, but I don't know if I would shake his hand unless he washed his hands. But definitely not Ted Bundy. Bundy was a monster. He was charismatic. He was, he showed himself to be a gentleman in some circumstances, and he had, he was very attractive to young ladies, and he had the looks and stuff like that. He had a way about him. He had a confidence, but I can't even understand why you would put those two together. You have a monster and somebody who just was misguided, and an artist, and somebody that was had an idea of who to be. Okay, more questions. All right, let's keep going. Have you read Catcher in the Rye? If is it in the Rye or and the Rye? I think it's Catcher in the Rye. Catcher in the Rye, sir. It's the Catcher in the Rye, by the way. But let me see. What do you think about it? Detailed thoughts. I was very young when I read that. I was like, how old was I? I was maybe 15, maybe 14 when I read it. Trying to remember. That's a good question. I was thinking I was 15. Okay, but anyway, it's very adolescent. It's very emotional. It's very, cynical. And but it did have moments where it did have some brief bits of idealism. The idea of him wondering, I'm gonna spoil a little bit of it, but him wondering where the ducks go, you know, during the wintertime, and him worrying about his sister, and him, uh, what was, I have to look it up. I can't think of his name right now. Can't think of his name. Hold on. Holden Caulfield. Holden Caulfield. Holden, he had a lot of issues. He had a lot of problems in his life, and he seemed like he couldn't resolve them. It's completely away from the fiction that I like right now, which is romantic realism, brought on by Ayn Rand. And there's not a lot of romantic realism in the world today. So the closest I like is fantasy and science fiction and psychological dramas. All right. Rick James says, we're inspired by Holden Caulfield. He says Golden, but Holden Caulfield for your character ruler. I was not. No, it wasn't. Favorite Beatles song? I had a list of my favorite Beatles songs too. Hold on, I think I have it. Hold on. I had it together. Hold on. Still looking. Hold on. Give me a minute. All right, here we go. My favorite Beatles song is A Day in the Life. That is my favorite Beatles song. Hi, or anybody else have any more questions? Who else has questions? You're doing a good job, Rick James. I'm having a good time. If you were approached to direct Grease 2, would you do it? No, I would not. Nope. I wouldn't take the bag. I can make big money somewhere else, doing something else. I wouldn't make Grease 2. That's not my speed. That's not what I want to project into the world. Because the powers that be, the gatekeepers and the executives, they wouldn't want my vision of Grease 2. They wouldn't want me to properly show what it could be and what it should be. Okay, Rick James asked, you were approached to direct a remake of Fight Club. I saw Fight Club, I think, one time Wasn't impressed. I didn't think it was, I thought, I mean, the direction was great. David Fincher is an excellent director, but the story, I didn't think it was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, I get the twist. Okay, great, wonderful, but I didn't really like it beyond that. Um, do you watch any other YouTube platform? I do, especially if you haven't known, of course, Mr. Troy Star Terrain, the Star Report. I try to follow movie uh sites. I used to watch uh real trip. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Screen Junkies, Honest Trailers. I used to watch that all the time. I haven't been able to watch as much, but they're still putting out every day, every Tuesday. Um, the Honest Trailers. Hike. Hope that answers your question. And once again, I'm doing my advertisement. I'm taking 10s and 20s from anyone who wants to come in here. Anyone who's already here, I'll even take a five. I'll take a five. I'll take a fiver, but I'm mainly taking 10s and 20s. All right. Would you direct a remake of Mary Popping if the studio gave you full creative freedom? No, I would not. I mean, it would be a completely different way of expressing myself, and I wouldn't want to do that. I would not want to do that. I wouldn't want. It's Mary Poppins, by the way, but I wouldn't want to do that. No, I would not want to do a Mary Poppins just because of my pedigree, just because I want to have an edge and have it will be a completely different movie. It would be completely, you know, a complete remake that was, completely over the heads of everybody else. All right. If you were invited to be the new singer of Rolling Stones for one show, would you do it? No, I would not, because I can't sing. I can only sing with a choir or a group of other singers. I can make harmony. That's it. You are guaranteed $2 million cash advance. Nope, still wouldn't. I can get $2 million somewhere else. That's the thing. I know what you're doing here. I know your line of thinking. Oh, what about the money? If you're giving good money, or if you're giving creative control, nope. My integrity says no. I still wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Would not do it. I would not do it. A man's got to do what he's got to do. Hi, you got any more questions, my friend? I'm putting the PayPal out there. Just showing my wares. If you had to pay $2 grand to surprise Papa Sanders with a meet and greet with the Cowboys team, would you pay it? No, I would not. I would not. Next question. Keep it coming. Keep it going while we're rolling. We're rolling. We're shaking and popping here. We're moving. Also, other thoughts. That's another YouTube. I just discovered that doing my research for what's her name? Sexy Red. Other thoughts is a great one. Another one is hold on. Not seeing her name. That's crazy. Millennial Rand fan, and of course the Ayn Rand Institute. Dr. Euron Brook. You caught me off guard. I couldn't remember, but Euron Brook Institute. I mean not the Euron Brook Institute, the Ayn Rand Institute. The Euron Brook Show, and also many other that just too many to name on YouTube. Okay, so hope that answers your question. Father's Day gift for me or for whom? I'm not a father. Father's Day gift for my father? Probably some kind of Cowboys paraphernalia just to fill up this room. I said 90% probably of the stuff that's in this room, as you can see, has come from birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, stuff like that. Pardon me for the wobbliness. I was just showing the room. All right. Here's you got a few more. Okay. You would make Papa Sanders Father's Day if you did it. What you think? Okay, I didn't know who you're talking about. First of all, are you talking about my dad? Yeah, I would pay $2,000. Yeah, it's a surprise, my dad. But I thought you were talking about Deion Sanders. It's Saunders, not Sanders. Saunders. The world is ending tomorrow. Okay, you would make Papa Saunders Father Day if you did it. What you think? Of course I would. I would. The world is ending tomorrow. What are you doing on your last day on earth? I'm just gonna be breathing, living. Breathing and living until the last moment. Will you ever see the return of the Blue Room? What is? Oh no, probably not. Most likely not. Didn't have the great lighting. Didn't have the space. I have better space and range of movement. Favorite Mexican food? Oh my God, steak and cheese and seasoned quesadilla. Height doesn't know what the Blue Room is. Height. It was my former room I used to shoot my shows. I used to, shoot my shows in my bedroom, which has a blue background. But I'm using this one. And I don't care the haters. I love the haters. Haters are saying, oh, you gotta take down that cowboy stuff. I downvoted because you have Cowboys gear. I'm like, hate harder. Come on, they're America's team. What are they? The third, or, tied for second most Super Bowl wins. I think Pittsburgh has 6. Patriots may have more. I'm not. Let me make sure. Most NFL. Oh, come on. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 6 and New England Patriots have 6. Cowboys have 5. San Francisco has 5. Washington has 5. According to this, I found on the internet. Okay. Keith is in the building. Not gonna give me my money, but that's all right. Currently, accepting. Yeah, Pats have 6. Yep. That's the honor. I'm going to Applebee's. Okay. Now you're just making up jokes. It's question time, Keith. Even though you don't have any money, thank Height for his previous donations. He doesn't have any donations today, but he has previously donated to the machine, and the reason why I'm doing this is because of him. So say your thanks to Height. Okay, Rick James says you get $1 million if you make a dish that impress Gordon Ramsay. What you do it and why? I would not do it in the first place because I don't know how disgusting it would be. Because I'm a great cook for me and my family, but I don't know if for somebody of his palate, of his extreme taste would enjoy it. I got you tomorrow. Salute, 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 Hike, salute, Hike, salute. Salute to Malik, my main man. You are my main man on the trigger. My main nigga on the trigger. You are my main man on the trigger. Seriously. I respect you because Malik and Hike. Thank Malik and Hike for putting in dollars in the past. He may put in a little bit today. I'm not going to push it on him, but I'm just putting the offer out there. We haven't raised any money, and there's 7 people in here now. Was 0, was 1 and 2. Now down to 5. Okay, let's continue with the questions. Rick James has got a whole list of questions. Doesn't have any money. Thank Height and thank Malik. His handle is NYB Exchange. Hold on. Yeah, see, it's 80. Yeah, it's 80. You don't have to do all of that. Not saying you can't, but you don't have to. Put in 10 or 20. I'll be happy with that. $10, $20. I'm accepting. I'm accepting. Accepting 10s and 20s. So whatever you got to do, Malik, it's the question hour because of you, because of people like you and Height. He says he's got me tomorrow. He had to buy weed today. That's his medicine. Definitely his drugs. But yeah, so just had to put that out there today. 5 people, 4 likes. Not mad. Not mad at the game. Not mad at my life. I'm pretty happy. So you can ask questions because you earned it. You definitely put in dollar amounts before Malik. I appreciate you. So do what you gotta do. Rick James, keep asking your questions. I don't drink or do anything. I only smoke weed. Yeah, hey, as long as you don't commit felonies and stuff like that, I don't think smoking weed should be a felony or a misdemeanor or anything. It should be completely free. It's not free, but it should be completely. You should be able to do it. You should be able to pay for it if you're 17 or 18 years old. If you have the ability to auction time. He's a smart man. Smart man. Auction time. I hear $1. Oh, keep it going. Keep going. Keep it going, Malik. I like what you're doing here. Keep the auction going. But like I was saying with Height, smoking weed, I never smoked weed before. Going $1. I'm looking for 10s and 20s. Come on, y'all. Y'all can do better than that. I can do better than 1. Give me those 10s and 20s. That's something I can hold. That's something I can fold. I hear $2. Let it go, Malik. Let it go. Do your thing, man. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. You're doing your thing. I appreciate that. You're adding a little bit more of fun in here. Rick James got some, he's got some questions for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate all his questions. He hasn't dropped one single cent, but over in the back, $5. Okay, somebody in the back. Somebody says that. You see him? You see him? $5. You got it. You height and Malik. Rick James be okay. Sky, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? To ask for more wishes. Next question. That would be my wish. That would be my 3 wishes. May I have more questions? May I have more wishes? May I have more wishes? May I have more wishes? Next, Keith. $5? $5? We're trying to get it up to 10. Let's see if we can go up to 10. I'm not going to really push for 20, but I'll take I'll take 10. Oh my God, Rick James, I don't even know what you're talking about. If you had to marry an Indian or a Republican, what would you choose? Abs why? Yeah, I think it's meant to say and why. I don't know what you mean. I don't. $10. Oh my goodness. I appreciate it. I appreciate Malik's energy right now. But I'll try to answer Rick James' question. You have to clarify for me. What Indian, red dot or feather? What Indian are you talking about? And what does that have to do with being a Republican? Can't you be an Indian and a Republican at the same time? Like, well, I forget his name. Indian and Nikki Haley is half Indian. Vivek Ramaswamy. He's a Indian Republican. Red dot on the floor. Okay, so yeah, he's both, and that's a man. I wouldn't marry a man. Um, what is? I don't understand where you got that. Let me ask you where you got that question. What? How did you formulate that? A Republican and an Indian. What is? Where did you get that? How did you formulate that together? Oh come on! Man. I'm serious. Give me more wishes. That's my response, Keith. That's my response. One is a Republican, the other is an Indian. Either. I mean, I don't know what the Republican is. The Republican a female? You have to give a little more detail. Is the Indian a female? I'm only going to marry a female. Both females. Okay. Some goofy mess. Um, I please explain first how you even came. I'll choose one, but I wouldn't even do the wishes. I wouldn't even. I would have to have unlimited wishes. I mean, where's the drawing line, Keith? But back to Rick James, I have to choose one. I don't understand the difference. What you're saying, like a libertarian and a black woman, a black libertarian woman and a black woman, and a black. I don't understand how you even formulated your question. How did you formulate your question? Then I may be able to answer it. So Malik came in, you know, thank Malik, thank Height, Rick James, and Keith, because they put down dollars in the past. I appreciate both of them. Make sure you respect their dollars. That's the reason why you have this moment of questioning. That's the reason why you have it. Wouldn't be any other case. But the people that have, donated to the show is the reason why I have these moments like this. So this is like, the proceeds go to, go to me, and then I give you, content based on the people that have already donated. Would you rather marry a Republican or Indian? That's what it comes down to. But where do you, how did you even come up with Republican, Indian, and either or? I don't understand what the question is. Explain further, sir. Keith says I have never donated, but when my bread is right, I will donate. I will look for that. I would hold you. I'm holding you to that. I think you're full of shit, but I'll hold you to it. I'll hold you to it. I don't trust you as far as I can see you, and I can't see you, so you know how that goes. Okay, you're serious. All right. I'm not marrying either. I'm like I said, I'm gonna be a lone wolf. I'm gonna be like Al Pacino, so many others. Don't get married, have kids. I won't marry either one of them. I don't because I don't understand your question really. I don't understand how you even formulated that question. So I would say I'll marry neither one of them. All right, good to go. You have another question that's not related to that last one. It's weird. If you could have lunch with Robert De Niro or Al Pacino, which one would you choose? You're paying the bill. That's a good question. I'd say Al Pacino. I would have lunch with Al Pacino and pick up the bill. Yeah. I do have Apple Pay, Malik. Why you don't have Cash App or something? You don't have PayPal? If you have PayPal, I have PayPal. PayPal and Cash App. But I have App. I do no. I do not have Apple Pay. I use my watch for Apple Pay, but I don't have the account for Apple Pay. But if you have Cash App right here, my friend. Cash App. PayPal. Either one of those will work. It'll work for me. Um, but salute to, like I said, salute to Malik. Salute to Height. They're your sponsors. They're your reason why we have these question periods. I would not be doing this if I didn't have the dollar amounts from these gentlemen. I appreciate it. Oh, see, we got enough. Thank Baha Jackson. Ski yee. Ski yee. First, I didn't know he was talking about. He's talking about Sexy Red song, where she says that. I thought he was mocking the AKAs. Yes, two people have four no monumental albums and lesser classics. I'll break that down in just a few minutes. Height. Give me a second. Give me a second. Aha Jackson, Malik, Height, all have donated to this machine before. They are your reasons why we do this. So let that be known. All right. Height. Jay-Z and Kanye West have four monumental albums. Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt, The Blueprint, Black Album, and 44. Those are all monumental albums. They're almost perfect. Close to being perfect. Ye, the artist formerly known as Kanye. Ye has four monumental albums: The College Dropout, Late Registration, A Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and Yeezus. and everything else is just lesser classics on both sides. So I can name those two at least. I know there are more. I know there's more. Probably Ice Cube. I'm sure he has probably at least 4 monumental albums. But I hope that answers your question. Those are the ones that I know of. Yes, do salute Baja Jackson, Keith. He's the reason why I'm still here. If it weren't for Malik and Height and Baja Jackson, I've been gone a long time ago. But they put in the money, they put in the work, they put in the cash. So I appreciate them. Previous efforts I'm talking about. So if anybody has any more questions, I'll be happy to entertain them. What was your last question? Let me see. South Park or Beavis and Butthead? That's a good one. South Park. Definitely South Park. I mean, I was watching that when I was like 8, 9, maybe 10. Or at least 9 or 10, because it didn't come out to like 97, I think. But yeah, I used to watch that. Yeah, it was a head trip. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go. Mr. Malik has dropped $10 on my head, and that's all I'm gonna ask for, because that's, I mean, it's good to be greedy, but you shouldn't be gluttonous. $10. So $10 raised. $70 to go. Spec. So first of all, y'all have to give Malik his props. Give him all his different congratulations, because you're riding on his dollar right now. You're riding on his dollar. So respect to his name is his handle is MYB Exchange, but his name is Malik. So salute to him. Okay. Baja Jackson said he pledges $10. I respect that, because he did fulfill his pledge last week. He said I'll pledge $10, and tomorrow, I mean the next day after that, it was in my account. So I respect Baja Jackson. I'm not going to hit him up, So I respect him, but respect Baja Jackson, Malik, and Height for contributing. Okay, so I have to get back to the questions. All right, I had to get some business over bullshit. Even though your questions are good, it's still business over bullshit. Sky, would you wish for world peace for one of your unlimited wishes? Well, that's just so cliche and so easy. I wish for world reason, individualism, and capitalism, which would then result in peace. That's how that would go. It will result in peace. You had rationality, independence, and a political social system that allows men to freely trade with one another. That's all I would ask for. Will you ever make me a mod? If you give me $100, I'll make you a moderator. Rick James. You have to give me $100. I would definitely make you a mod. Salute to Baja Jackson. Salute to Height. Salute to MYB Exchange is his handle, but Malik is his name. Okay, this is really okay. Zach Mullins, who is that? That was really random. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know who that was. He's one of the Black Marines fighters. Keith. I didn't even know about him. I see him featured on a page with the Washington Post. Thank you for bringing him to my attention. I never even heard of Zach Mullins. But salute. Remember, salute to Zach Mullins. We don't do shout outs. No shout out policy. All right, Rick James, how much is my SS check when I need to donate to see you to get you to watch and review the entire Pee Wee's Playhouse series? I want video reviews on every episode. I would need at least $2,000. Seriously. To do the whole series, I would need at least $2,000. No bullshit. If you did like a show, I'd say $100, something like that. The movies, if you did a movie, I'd do $1,000 for a movie. $100 for a song. Maybe $500 for an episode. I don't know. We'll work that out. But all this is play money. This is Monopoly money right now. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know it was on 30 episodes. Well, we can break that down. What's 38 times 2,000? 60,000, right? But that's asking for too much. It would be let me see. What is that? Is that 15? Is that like $150 an episode? 150 times 2,000? Be 30. I can't do math. Don't make me do math on here. It's not pretty. So, if you don't have any more questions, I've got about 8% left in the life. We got a donation that came through with Malik. Salute to him. I'm glad that Rick James saluted him. But Baha Jackson asked the question. Hold on. As in not at war. When you, will you ever become vegan? No. I love steak too much. It's too delicious. I don't care how many Beyond Meats and Beyond Impossibles and everything like that. You can. Oh well, it's just like steak. I don't care. I need what is it? Wagyu or Kobe beef or something like that. That's what I need in my life. Angus burgers. I need this. I need something that was breathing, like and that chewed on things, chewed on grass, had a face. People don't like to eat things that had a face. if the animal if the piece of food had a face, they don't want to eat it. If Ringo wanted you to give, this is Rick James. If Ringo wanted to give you drumming lessons, would you take it? He only wants $10 per second. No, because I'm not interested in drums. I would be more interested in the trumpet or piano or the saxophone or a stringed instrument, a violin, cello, something like that. Rick James, it's a steal. What's a steal? What are you talking about? It's not really a steal. I mean, it'd been nice. Ringo is probably one of the most famous drummers of all time. But okay. Yay. invited you to dinner, his treat, but you notice Kim K on the other table giving you the eye. What do? Well, I don't think they would be in the same room together anymore unless they're with their children. So I'm going to pass on that question if I may. It's my show. I'm passing on the question. Not answering that. Come on. You had some pretty good ones before. Come on, Rick James. You can do better than that. I mean, I can't even see them together, even if they're in different seats, in different chairs, in different booths, whatever the case may be. I wouldn't, because Kim K isn't attractive to me. She's physically, she, her posterior is too large. Her face, it doesn't look too bad, but her whole persona, her whole mind frame isn't sexy to me. I'll pass on that. Got 6% left. Thank you, Height. Thank you, Baja James, which is I'm saying is already in the mail. I just haven't received it yet. No, I do not change tables. No, I do not change tables. Jay's still businessman. I looked at the top stories. Yeezys are still making big revenue for Adidas. Still to this day, people are buying Adidas with Yeezys on them. He's not hurting. He may have said some stupid stuff, but he's not hurting. He's not hurting for cash anyway. He's got a wife. He's got a wife. He got that. All right. Oh, two of the things I've never eaten. Okay, see. Hey, salute. Everybody give a hand clap. Emoji. I don't usually say emojis, but give a hand clap. Give a salute emoji to Malik, aka MYB Exchange. He's the reason why we had this question and answer period. He's getting off. He's signing off. I appreciate all his efforts. Make sure you all pay attention. Bow down to the king. I think that's what that means. Malik, his name. I think Malik means king. I think that's true. Let me make sure. Yeah, Malik means king. Yeah. Huh? Bow down to the king. Salute to that man. Appreciate your donation, sir. Thank you very much. Put me on the board. I haven't achieved my goal yet. If I achieve my goal, we would add $160, by the way. Still haven't achieved $80. I think I can do it, though. I came very close. I had $65 one day for an hour's worth of work. So, very close. Yeah, so, yeah. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Rick James. I appreciate both of you for acknowledging Malik and his prowess in terms of donating to my platform. All right, let me answer this question. Sky, would you eat possum, bison, and rabbit? I've never had possum. I know you can eat it. I've had bison. I loved it. And I've never had rabbit, but I would enjoy a possum or a rabbit. I would eat a possum or rabbit. I've already had bison. Yes. If Adam Sandler invited with 3% left, if Adam Sandler invited, Rick James is starting. He's trying to get his thoughts together, I guess. Trying to get his mind right. I got time. Take your time, Rick James. You to eat an owl, would you do it? Yeah, if it's cooked properly, I would. Yep, I'd eat now. I'll probably eat one of those spotted owls that are on the endangered list. The quote unquote environmentalists and the ecologists, quote unquote, they're so concerned with the spotted owls. There's only 16 left in nature. But if somebody gets hit by a bus, oh well, it was their time. They don't care about humanity. Don't let them fool you. They don't care. They really don't care about human beings. Crow, if it was cooked great, I'd eat it. I literally eat crow. That's a phrase. Eating crow. Yeah, so I'll do that, definitely. Animals are nicer than humans. Reverse that. Change your thinking, because no, I probably wouldn't eat skunk, because its meat would probably taste like it's defense mechanism. You can't really say animals are nicer than humans because they don't have the cognitive ability to be nice, quote unquote. Be affectionate, they can show some sense of warmth, but they can't be objectively nicer than human beings. And again, no, I would not eat skunk. I mean, for right now, I'll look it up right now. Let me see. Okay, see, this is the reason why. I'll give you the reason why I'm not going to eat a skunk. Skunks can be eaten. Some American Indian tribes did eat them regularly. However, the problem is that it is difficult to avoid the smell/taste that they exude. Even when you carefully remove their scent glands, they still have an aroma. So that's the reason why I'm not going to eat skunk. So there's 1% left. Who's going to have the final question in the last hour and the last minute? Who's going to be the final buzzer beater? Is it going to be Rick James? Is it going to be Keith? Is it going to be Malik? Who's it going to be? We shall see. About to get my what's his name? Oh my god. Marv Albert. Yes! Yes! We have a winner. Not yet, but that's what I'm going to say when somebody, whoever has the next question is the last question. So let that be known. Let that be said. We'll not eat skunk because, like I said, it will probably smell like its defense mechanism. Even if you remove the glands and everything like that, there's still going to be a smell about it. So I'm not going to be eating skunk anytime soon. So where's the last question? Whoever has it, Keith, Rick James. I see 5 people viewing. One of you 5 people, whoever you are, somebody's going to say something, and they're going to be the last question. Or is Rick James the last question with skunk? Did he skunk you guys? Oh, here we go. Rick James has the last question. Very easy one, and one I will claim forever. Have you ever twerked? No, I haven't, and I never will. Thank you. Thank you. It's been real. Have a great night. No, I've never twerked, and I never will. Now, I have to thank whoever subscribed to my channel. If you have noticed, I used to be on $2.99 for the longest time, and now I'm at $3.01 the last time I checked, and I appreciate that. I'm about almost a third of the way, a little close to being a third of the way through. to 1,000 subscribers. So continue to tell people, Rick James. Like I said, I appreciate you. If you're not gonna send a dollar donation, at least tell 5 people and let the 6th person wonder. Same thing with you, Keith. Let other people know. Height, thank you very much. You know you didn't donate today, but you donated in the past. You're going to donate tomorrow. Same thing with Baja Jackson. I have your word because you've done this before. You have my, I have, you're in good standing. So Rick James, thank you for your questions again. And thank you, Keith, for your questions. And I will see you all. Thank you, Height, for your questions, of course. And I will see you all probably tomorrow. Thank you very much. Take care.